go and walk into a business and pay directly to that business.
Our various stakeholders in the labor and agriculture sectors have today launched the ACCEL Africa project by the International Labour Organization aimed at eradicating child labor. Now, the 5-year term project is slated to target tea and coffee supply chains across the country. Our reporter Nicole Njuguna with more.
Indeed, a good afternoon to you. And today's conversation is quite somber. Even as we talk about abolishing, or rather accelerating action towards eliminating child labor here in Africa, the ACCEL Africa project has just been launched today here in Nairobi, Kenya, and it has been rolled out in 5 African countries, that is Ghana, Nigeria, Mali, Malawi, and Uganda. So far, this project targets value chains that are in the agricultural sector, and it is quite devastating that families that experience poverty are forced to turn to their children as an alternative source of income, and this forces these children to work in these farms as a source of labor. It is also quite devastating that the numbers of children who are engaging in child labor in sub-Saharan Africa currently is 72.1 million, and it has increased to 92.2 million, and these numbers do not encompass the most recent COVID-19 impact, which means that these numbers could be higher. So closer home here in Kenya, the ACCEL Africa project, which is being launched in its phase 2, is expected to target 4 counties here, that is Kisii, Kericho, Meru, and Kirinyaga, where agriculture is the backbone of the country, and in these places tea and coffee farming is quite prevalent. Joining me is the Country Director, International Labour Organization, Ms. Caroline Mugala. Thank you very much for joining us. Please tell us about the ACCEL Africa program.
This is the second phase, actually, but Kenya was not one of the countries of the first phase, so it's a great opportunity to have Kenya participate in the second phase. It's a project that would roll for 5 years, and it will focus in 4 counties in Kenya.
Tell me about the country rollout program, especially in counties like Kericho, in the 4 counties. Tell us how so far have you started rolling it out, and what should we expect to see?
So there has been already initial engagement because we cannot actually, the way ILO works. ILO is a tripartite organization that brings together employers, workers, and trade union. So we've already had discussions of the projects in terms of if it's a priority for Kenya. So we've already had discussions with KOTU, with FKE, and the Ministry of Labor that was involved in even deciding, the value chains and also the counties to be focused on. We've had initial discussions with the county governments in terms of the priority on what we will be focusing in those counties, but also just understanding what is the status of issues.
We'll also continue to ensure the sound development of policies and programs, advocacy and awareness campaigns, as well as enforcement of law through child labor-focused inspections.
The exploitation has led to the privatization of children of their rights to be children and to enjoy their basic rights.
Close to 1.3 million children are on labor. They're actually subjects of labor trade, of labor work, and so many of them have been deprived of their potentials. Kericho County is not an exception.
The clarion call is for us to protect our children and let them go to school and gain an education, which is the foundation of a brighter future. For KTN News, my name is Nicole Njuguna.
Right now, Kenya and India have today come together to hold